Brexit predicted to start chain reaction as EU issued warning over Sweden and Denmark. Brexit was predicted to start a chain reaction of countries rejecting the EU as a Swiss politician warned countries like Sweden and Denmark may reconsider their membership. The worrying prediction for Brussels was made by Thomas Aichi, a right-wing politician in Switzerland from the Swiss People's Party. He, and other politicians from Iceland, hit out at the suggestion that the UK may be isolated outside of the EU. Mr. Aichi made the prediction in 2015, just under a year before the UK voted to leave the bloc. He said, "There are certainly some countries that are on the line, waiting to see how the EU develops. If the UK were to leave, it could trigger a chain reaction." Mr. Aichi noted at the time that Denmark and Sweden would at least start reconsidering their relationship with the EU. In 2016, 2 months before the UK voted to leave the EU, a poll in Sweden showed that the country could be inspired by Brexit. The survey by SIFO showed that 36% of Swedes would want to follow the UK out of the EU in the event of a leave vote. The poll was tight, however, as 32% said they would still want to stay in the EU. One of the main political parties in Sweden, the Sweden Democrats, has argued for Swexit, and may have had some impact on opinion in the country. A poll in June showed that Swedish voters had a less favorable view of the EU than they did at the beginning of 2020. The survey results came amid an increasingly fractious time for Sweden and the EU as finance ministers debated a landmark proposal for a jointly financed coronavirus recovery fund. The proportion of Swedes in favor of EU membership declined to 57.2% in a survey by Statistics Sweden, from 60.1% in the previous November. In 2019, German philosopher Ulrike Gurot echoed fears of a chain reaction in an interview with VPRO. She said, "It's a chain reaction. Brexit instigated Trump, which instigated the Austrians, who may instigate Marine Le Pen in France, who may instigate the AfD in Germany. That could happen." Guðlaugur Þór Þórðarson, of Iceland's Independence Party, also shared Mr. Aichi's feelings on Brexit in 2016. He rejected the idea Brexit would cause the UK to have less control of its trade. Mr. Þórðarson said, "Those who say you cannot influence Brussels outside, they are the one who cannot even influence their own trade policy."